All right, today we're going to dive deep into Dr. Eric Berg's guide on healthy keto and intermittent fasting. We're going to break down the big ideas, the strategy behind it, and the rules you need to know, all based on what's in the guide.
So right off the bat, the guide asks a really basic question. What fuel does your body run on? You've got two main choices, sugar from carbohydrates or fat. And honestly, the answer you choose is what this whole plan is built on.
And to really get it, you just have to look at this chart. The difference is, well, it's staggering. On the left, you see the standard American diet, where a whopping 65% of calories come from carbs. And on the right, the healthy keto plan, just 5%. That huge gap is the secret sauce. It's the key to everything.
Okay, so let's get into it. This first section is all about these two fuel systems your body can use. Understanding this is absolutely crucial, because this isn't just a diet, it's about retraining your body to use a completely different and, as the guide argues, a much cleaner and more efficient source of energy.
You know, it's pretty simple when you break it down. Your body can run on glucose, that's sugar from carbs, which is kind of the default setting for most of us. Or it can flip a switch and start burning fat for energy, producing these amazing little molecules called ketones. The whole point, the big goal, is to flip that switch from being a sugar burner to a fat burner.
And this is where it gets really vivid. The guide uses this powerful analogy to get you to see what a high-sugar diet is actually doing. We're talking about the equivalent of 1.5 cups of sugar just flowing through your system every day. And that image of sugar acting like sandpaper on your arteries, yeah, once you hear that, you kind of can't unhear it, right?
Okay, here's another way to think about it, which I think is brilliant. Imagine all your stored body fat is a massive fuel tanker, just an incredible reserve of energy. But when you're eating a high-carb diet, you can't access it. You're stuck using this tiny little gas tank of sugar that's always running on empty and needs to be refilled every few hours. The question becomes, why wouldn't you want to tap into that giant fuel tanker you're already carrying around?
So, how do we actually do it? How do we switch from the tiny gas can to the giant tanker? Well, it comes down to two key pieces that have to work together: what you're eating and, just as important, when you're eating.
Now, this is super important. The guide makes it really clear that healthy keto is not the same as just any old keto diet. It's not just about cutting carbs. The real focus here is on the quality of your food. We're talking nutrient-packed vegetables, high-quality protein, healthy fats. Because let's be real, you could eat a lot of junk that's technically low-carb, but that's not the goal here.
All right, and part 2 of the puzzle is intermittent fasting. And the guide is very specific. This is not a diet. It's a pattern of eating. See, the thing is, every single time you eat anything, it triggers the hormone insulin. By eating your meals in a smaller window of time, you create a long period where insulin stays low. And that's the magic window when your body can finally switch over and start burning fat.
And this visual, it just explains it perfectly. On the top, that's a typical day for many people. You've got insulin spikes for breakfast, lunch, dinner, plus snacks in between. Your body is basically blocked from burning fat all day long. Now look at the bottom. By squeezing that eating window, you create this long, beautiful runway for fat burning. That right there is the entire goal.
Okay, so we've got the what and the how, but what about the why? Why bother doing all this? Well, according to the guide, the payoff is huge, and it goes way beyond just losing weight.
Well, when you put these two together, you unlock some pretty amazing benefits. First, you get freedom from constant hunger and cravings. Then there's something called autophagy. Think of it like your body's own spring cleaning crew, going in and clearing out old, damaged cell parts. The guide also talks about better brain function, serious anti-aging potential, and just an all-around healthier metabolism.
And all of this leads to what is maybe the most important takeaway from the whole guide. It's a total mindset shift. The core idea is this: it's not lose weight to get healthy, it's get healthy to lose weight. You focus on fixing your health from the inside out, and the weight loss just becomes this awesome side effect.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do you actually do it? How do you put it into practice? Well, it all boils down to 3 simple core rules.
Rule number 1, it's all about the macros. You gotta get these numbers right. The target is to get about 70% of your daily calories from healthy fats, 20% from protein, and only 5% from carbohydrates. This specific ratio is what tells your body, hey, it's time to stop looking for sugar and start making ketones.
Rule number 2, and this is what really puts the healthy in healthy keto,
is the veggies. And we're not talking about a little side salad here, we're talking 7 to 10 cups a day. Yeah, you heard that right, 7 to 10. This is where you get all the crucial vitamins and minerals, like potassium, that make you actually feel great while you're doing this.
And finally, rule number 3 is about when you eat. And the key word here is gradually. You don't just jump into 1 meal a day. The guide says to start simple, just 3 meals, no snacks. Then, when you're ready, you drop a meal and move to 2. And maybe, eventually, you get to 1 meal a day if that feels right for you.
All right, and to wrap things up, the guide gives us a super helpful reality check. It's about the biggest mistakes people make that can completely stop their progress. Because knowing what not to do is sometimes even more important.
So listen up, because these are the big ones to avoid. Having cheat days isn't a little slip-up. It can knock you out of fat-burning mode for days. Trying keto without the fasting part, you're leaving a ton of benefits on the table. And then there are things outside of food, like not getting enough sleep or going too hard at the gym, which can spike your stress hormones and totally sabotage your results. It's all about consistency.
So at the end of the day, what we've looked at here is a plan to fundamentally change your body's entire energy system. It really all goes back to that first question about which fuel you want to use. And that kind of leaves me with a final thought for you. If you could actually redesign your own personal energy system, what would you be optimizing it for? Would it be for pure physical endurance, or maybe for sharper mental focus, or something else entirely? It's a pretty powerful question to think about.